All right, I know this looks extremely gurish, 19.2K while asleep and stuff, but let me explain. It actually does make a lot of sense because I was asleep. My client is 9 hours behind me. I'm 9 hours ahead of him. And before the clock even hit 10 a.m., I woke up at like 8:30. I woke up with four notifications, four juicy notifications with four different closes from my client. Four closes with five calls booked in total, which is like, bro, 80% closing rate for that specific set of leads. It was insane. It was genuinely insane. And I just wanted to record a video explaining exactly how me and my client got there in the last 9 months. Obviously, now I've managed to pave the path for other people to follow, such as yourself. So if you're an online coach, an online business owner running an agency or whatever, you can just take a look at this video and implement some of the things that I'm going to talk about. Even though I feel you're already one of the best performing business owners out there, I'm sure that you're actually killing it. But still, 20K, almost 20K, definitely can't do any harm. So I just wanted to say how insane it is to just have a team that works for you. Obviously, I'm a manager there. I'm there working like crazy. We're trying to book these calls like a crackhead, like literally a bunch of crackheads. But the thing is that once you set it all up, once everything is running so smoothly, once everything is just like all of these people like to say, uh, automated, once these things are, oh damn, automated, then you can just expect to be hitting these numbers consistently, simply because setters are doing what they're supposed to do: reach out to leads, handle them, convert that attention into booked calls. Clients are doing what they're supposed to do, which is deliver and attract new eyeballs through ads, through testimonials, whatever. Closer is doing what he's supposed to do: close these leads, make cash. And I, as a manager, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, which is overlook that entire process, entire operation, and just make it as best as I can. Obviously, that's in the best of my abilities. But the thing is that most people look at this and think, ah, yeah, one of these good old while asleep schemes where he's just gonna try to sell me. No, I'm genuinely not trying to sell you anything. I don't even have any gay 15K coaching program to sell where I coach businesses. No, I only coach B2C people. I coach them with obviously how to make money with appointment setting, and then place them as a part of my agency in these 6 and 7 figure business like yourself. And we all make money off of the commissions. But what I'm trying to say here is that this is genuinely not out of reach. It's not some new shiny object in the market that is just gonna be hella expensive, 10K plus to make 20K a month. No, it's all about the systems. And honestly, you can create these systems by yourself as well. But obviously, you need to test the system, see if they work, how they perform, if they even perform, and see the outcome, and then test another one, see the outcome of that second one, and of course just double down on the one that works. But the thing is that there's a truth that pretty much, I don't know why, but a lot of people are trying to gatekeep. They just don't want to reveal it, probably because they want to sell more, especially since what I'm about to say has to do directly with the things that they're selling, which is ads, or I don't know, new funnels that they're trying to sell you on. I can't even think of any new funnel, to be fair. Sorry, because yeah, funnel is just a funnel. Everything kind of comes down to one thing and one thing only, which is to attract the attention and literally, as the word says, funnel it down to your DMs or dials or emails, whatever, calendar, so you can maybe close them face to face without even having any like I'd say qualifying or generating interest processes. So this is what people are trying to sell you: ads, funnels, some random, I don't know, outreach method, something random. I truly don't know. But no, it's not even about that. It's about having one setter and one closer, and preferably one manager if you feel you can't do it by yourself, that will do everything on your behalf. And trust me, with these ads, all of them are promising, I don't know, some crazy 10x return on ad spends. They're promising that, you know. Or with these funnels, they're promising 10K cash collected in first month. Or with outreaches, they're saying hundreds of outreaches a day with what, 5 calls being booked per day as well. No, I am like, let me be real for a sec. I always am real, and I need to keep that aura around me because I absolutely hate these people that are just bluntly lying to you. So yeah, volume negates luck. We all know that. But the thing is that would you rather have 5 calls a day and have 2 closes a day, which is like what? I'd say around 40% closing rate, or would you have 3 highly qualified calls booked and still have 2 calls, the 2 closes? I would rather prefer the second option because not only that the percentage is higher, but also your brain power, which I'm constantly repeating in all of my videos, your brain power is being saved. So me and my guys, we're not focused on volume per se, let's say, oh yeah, tens of these a day and stuff. No, we truly do care only about the calls that are gonna end up being a close. Hence why we managed to do it in the first place. 4 closes out of 5 bookings. I don't even know why this fifth one didn't close. It would be insane to be fair, 5 out of 5, but it is what it is. So what I'm trying to say is that you don't need a system that's gonna help you, I don't know, get hundreds of leads a day in your pipeline. I truly don't believe in that. I feel that the best way to go about it is just all about the quality, because at the end of the day, if you have a setter or if you're doing it yourself right now, uh, imagine having 20 leads right now and you having to do your specific and tailored approach to each and every single one of these leads. Like, I'd say that the margins that you're gonna do a mistake are pretty high, because you just can't do it properly in a way where every single one of these leads is treated equally, simply because the volume is too high. So I would rather handle 5. Once again, silly example. Obviously, 5 is not that ideal, but hopefully you get the point. Because yeah, you just don't need that high volume. All you need is essentially what me and my client that's right now doing around what, 170K a month? I'm not sure. I just checked his Go High level yesterday. I think he was on 168 to be precise or something. And yeah, that's what he's doing a month. We started working together when he was at 7K a month, I believe. It was January this year. And so, yeah, 10 months after, we're at the point where we can just, do these things. Every single one of us is doing our part of the process, our part of the operation. And yeah, we collect cash, and what was the thing? Uh, I'd say that a lot of people are afraid of, I don't know, losing money, which is a pretty logical thing. But they don't realize that by hiring a bad sales team, they lose even more money. So let me put it this way. Let's say I charge, I don't know, 10K per setter, which is, by the way, obviously not the thing. But let's say I charge 10K per setter and I'm promising that the setter is going to make the person 20K in the first month. That's a pretty good return on ad investment, not on ad, return on investment, of course. And that's, you pay me 10K, I'll give you 20K, all good. But they're afraid of losing that 10K. And then the next move that they usually make is simply go out there and find another cheap setter that's, not someone that they need to pay 10K for. And what happens next? What happens next is that for the upcoming 3 or 4 months, the setter is absolutely drowning. Like, he is performing terribly. I just today did a follow up. I'm not gonna name drop anyone, but I just today did a follow up with a guy. I was just simply, hey bro, long time no hear. Are you eventually interested? No, would you eventually be open to hiring a commission based appointment setter, or do you still have a team in place? And he was like, yeah, bro, yeah, I would be open to hiring a commission-based setter. I did have 3 or 4 different setters since we spoke 5 months ago, but yeah, they were performing terribly. And I'm like, all right, so let's proceed further then. Let's hop on a call. Just pretty straightforward, cutting the bullshit part. And he was like, well, let me know if there are any setup fees. And I'm like, XYZ, yeah, there are, depending on obviously the situation of your business. If your business is absolutely terrible, then I need to set it all up in order to make it work properly. And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry, I'm not interested. And I'm like, what? To be fair, I didn't even want to deal with that person moving forward simply because if he didn't change his perspective and his beliefs in the 5 months of him drowning, and even more, 5.5 months of him drowning and seeing the direct consequences of him being cheap, then yeah, if he still decides to continue that same route, that same way, then obviously it's not in my best interest, or it's not in my interest whatsoever to have that guy as a client because I can imagine him being pain in the ass over a long term, even more than what he could pay me. In other words, I don't think it would pay out for me. So that's the thing. He's just cheap. He is, afraid of losing money, and unfortunately, that's how he's probably gonna run his business for as long as he has that belief. Because yeah, I don't see anything changing after the struggles he's been going through. But all in all, yeah, what I'm trying to say is that volume, when it comes to high quality setters that are doing the greatest job on the market in the industry that you can possibly find, it's not even about handling tons of leads. It's truly about having strategic follow-ups. Let me put it this way: having super strategic follow-ups, because we all know that every lead is different. Every lead has his own problems, has his own KPIs, SOPs, ICP, lead trackers, whatever. Every business is different. So the follow-ups need to be strategic and follow a certain framework where the reason for follow-ups need to be kind of transparent and no bullshit such as, yo, bro, like, how are you doing? No, nothing like that. You just need to have a direct reason for following up, because that's how you just show that you genuinely care. And that's how you show that you truly were listening 5 months ago when you last spoke, such as the same thing that I did today with my guy. Obviously not a great example because, yeah, he is just, not an ideal client of mine, considering that he is not aware of certain problems, but you get the point. So, yeah, strategic follow ups, then strategic uh, DMs process in general, what would include, questions. Let me put it this way, actually. Strategic questions that you gotta be asking, strategic acknowledgements. You obviously need to acknowledge every single answer so the person feels like everything is just conversational instead of you interrogating him like a police officer. And I would say that there should be no randomness. You can't randomly go around the DMs and just be talking with them for the sake of talking. What I'm trying to say is that if you are the guy running your DMs, or if your setter is running your DMs, there needs to be an intention. The real intention behind handling these DMs is to convert it into a booking. And like me and my setters, we're not just randomly going through the DMs and handling them just so we can, submit a daily report at the end of the day and then be like, yo, I've handled 70 leads today. No. Once again, no. Like, I truly do care about these percentages so much that I would rather have, I don't know, uh, 5 calls booked out of 10 leads handled for that day than have 7 calls booked out of, I don't know, 45 leads handled that day. Just look at the percentages. Truly look at the percentages, and guess what happens then as well? Brain power is being saved for other high leverage activities that a person could be doing. So like I said, there's no randomness. Every single lead needs to be handled with the intention of booking him in, or in other words, you wouldn't just book him in for the sake of doing so. So once again, this daily report looks beautiful. No, we're booking him in with the true intention of helping him as well. We need to be like, all right, let me genuinely see if I can even help you or not. I know these people all over industry are saying, yeah, I'm not sure what the price would be because I'm not even sure if you would be a good fit for this. I absolutely hate it, because if you would be a good fit for this is completely outdated. And yeah, especially in the industry where you're planning on charging these juicy prices such as 5K and above, people know the game. You need to respect them if you want for them to respect you back, and you just need to be like, yeah, bro, like, I truly just want to see if I can help you or not. I mean, it seems to me like you're doing good already, so you might not even need any of my stuff at the moment. Does it sound fair enough? Yeah. And then you proceed with your qualifying process before you book him in. This is just a qualifying process right here. And essentially, once you master the craft of having the intention behind every single lead, you'll realize that most of these calls that you book are actually gonna end up in being a close. And I didn't even mention that uh, these 4 closes that totaled up to 19.2K were 4.8K each in dollars, which is, by the way, per month in monthly recurring revenue, because the client I'm working with is charging monthly retainers for his marketing services. So it's a bit insane how some nice, great things can be done with just a simple process that is not only automated but is very well built in form of systems. Let's say an automated system is what I would like to say. And obviously it's not one of these crazy AI things. No, I truly like to take a human approach as well. That's also a crucial aspect. You or your setter, whoever is it handling, he needs to become a master at having that human approach, because without that human approach, realistically, the guy could just be talking to an AI and most likely end up not buying anything. So these things that my setters and myself as a manager are doing is what actually makes these calendars absolutely violated with juicy calls. The emphasis is on juicy calls because you obviously once again don't want to focus on volume only. I mean, if you're a beginner in your online coaching or online agency journey, then absolutely go for the volume, because yeah, you just want to build the momentum and see what works. Who can you help? Who can you not help? Obviously, even more importantly, train yourself, because just pretend the guy you're talking to is the most ideal client ever and see what objections he's going to throw at you, just so you can train yourself in handling these most common objections. But if you're a very well established guy like I feel you are watching this video, then I absolutely wouldn't focus on volume and volume only, because then that entire thing brings another problem, such as hiring multiple sales team members so every single one of them handle the certain number of leads, or multiple closers, and you as a business owner or your manager handling multiple of these sales team members. And yeah, money is being made, but you know it's kind of messier to track it all, because in most of the cases when the volume goes up, the quality goes down, because yeah, that's exactly why people, when they start seeing the when they start seeing huge demand, when the huge demand is there, most of the people actually just raise prices so that that demand can actually go down. And the people that are gonna invest in these higher prices are still considered of a high quality, because the higher the demand, higher the prices, and automatically higher the quality of leads, because not just anyone, some random guy on the street, will invest 4.8K in the services if he doesn't believe that those can truly help him. But essentially, yeah, when you have a system like this, you as a founder, you as a big boy CEO can finally live that life of freedom, because you don't have to babysit or micromanage these things. And yeah, I've worked with a guy doing 400K a month several weeks ago. He put a pause on his coaching program because he signed a juicy coaching client that requires a lot of efforts from his end. And yeah, there was no room for extra clients, so we put a pause on everything. But the thing is that even him doing that amount of money thought like, oh damn, yeah, I can't be bothered to manage or micromanage these things. So yeah, let me reach out to Chris. He reached out to me. We started doing so, and we just made few 16K paid in fulls purely from outbound at that time. But still, even though it was outbound, the systems were created. We were booking few calls a day that were obviously of a high quality. And yeah, we ended up making some juicy money together. But all in all, if you want a sales team that prints before you even like wake up, same way I woke up with such a nice dopamine hit, 4 closes times 4.8K in total, 19.2K out of 5 calls that we booked. Yeah, if you want that same thing, that same feeling, honestly, just reach out to me and I'll absolutely place these setters for free. No charge whatsoever. I can just put the job opportunity in my program, share multiple of them your way, and see if, you even need any setters in the first place. So yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, by the way, if you feel like you don't need my help with any of this, you can just watch my previous videos that where I explain how exactly I hire these setters, my exact hiring process, and once again, you can do it on your own. I don't mind. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate you subscribing. Drop me a follow on IG down there in the bio. Follow my journey, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep grinding.